What happens when we cannot bear our existence? I've been thinking on this for some time because 2 years ago, two of my friends took their own lives, and it was the catalyst for a change in my own life. I don't believe that they died for me to learn a lesson, but I'm grateful they taught me nonetheless. Their deaths forced me to consider where my life was going. I asked myself, if I look at my life and add 5, 10, 15, 20 years, am I going anywhere I want to go? And the answer was no. And I would invite you to ask yourself the same question. It felt as if I had literally changed the tracks on my life when they passed. And this is not to say I wasn't trying to make my life better at the time, but I felt as though I was stuck trying rather than moving forward. I was stuck on a treadmill. You're exacting the same energy, but you aren't actually going anywhere compared to running on the road. And now I like to think of things that now I like to think in terms of, if you're going the right way, the only obstacle between you and your goal is time. All the time in the world won't help you if you're going the wrong way, and at the time I feel as if I was perhaps going the wrong way. I didn't know what I was going to do, what sort of person I wanted to become, and I think many people can relate. I think that when people drift too far from what they know to be their best self, or they aren't in pursuit of that best self, they destroy a bit of their soul. Looking back, I was exerting a lot of energy into making sure I appear okay rather than progressing towards okayness, let alone being my best self. And now, I would want to invite you to make a step towards your best self, as I'm trying to. Let's go on this journey together. It's not easy coming to grips with ground zero and the aspects of your life that bother you, but it's well worth it. There's a line in The Wire, great show by the way. You'd rather live in shit than let the world see you work a shovel. And that was kind of how I was at the time. I didn't want to share any of my vulnerabilities. And I don't necessarily think that you should share your vulnerabilities with everyone, but I'm doing so now with the hopes of showing a lesson rather than to show weakness for weakness sake. I found out that life has a way of forcing us to be humble, and our nature recoils against this. We might have to show someone that we aren't all right. We might have to drop the facade to others, and at the very least ourselves. What can we do to make our existence more bearable? And it sounds deeper when I say it like this, but really we're asking ourselves, what can we do today that will make tomorrow better? Thought and action. That's what we'll be discussing on this series. So stay tuned.